What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Walmart exclusive AEW Unrivaled collection, CM Punk. And so here we have CM Punk pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories. CM Punk does come with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of tight grip hands, and then we get a pair of open grip hands. He does come with an AEW hoodie, which does look really nice and fits the figure wonderfully. And then he does come with an AEW microphone. Other than that, CM Punk here doesn't come with anything else. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at CM Punk. And so here we have a closer look at CM Punk. And I think Jazzware has done a really good job with this figure, although there are some things that they didn't quite get right. For starters, his hair. His hair is too much on the gray side / brown side. They should have added just a little more black to his hair, or just gone all the way and made his hair black, because it does look like his hair is gray. He looks much older than he actually is, although CM Punk is starting to look older than what he really is. So yeah, it is a really nice head sculpt right here. You can see they actually did give him his comb back, and then he does have the fade right here on the sides of his head. But as I said, they could have done a little more darker on his hair, because it does look gray. I do like his beard. It does have some really nice color to it, although unlike his hair, I think they could have added a little bit more gray into here. It looks like they just used the same color for his hair and called it a day. They should have added some black and grays to his hair just to give it some depth to it, but overall, it does look really nice. It's not a 100% likeness to CM Punk, but it does have that snarky, smug look that he has, so pretty good job there. As far as the rest of the figure goes, they did a really good job on his tattoos here, especially right here on his chest. You can see his tattoo is done wonderfully. Absolutely great tattoo work right there. On his arm, we actually do get not an actual Pepsi emblem, but a knockoff Pepsi emblem, which it does look better than the empty space that we saw with the Mattel figures. So I do like that. And we do have his fish tattoo. We have a couple more right there. On this side, we do have the cards. The luck is for losers. I believe that's what that one is. No, oh no, that's a heart through honor, right? Yeah, I think that's a heart through honor. We have the koi fish right there, and that looks really good. On this side, they actually put the Cobra emblem right there. At least it's close enough to the Cobra emblem to not warrant a lawsuit, but it is obviously the Cobra emblem, which again, that looks much better than what we got with the Mattel, which was just a blank space right there. And then we do have his tattoos right here. We have the 13 and the spider webs. We have his Thunderbolt right there, the skull right there, Rosie the Riveter right here, the sparrow that he has there. And then surprisingly, he does have the Orochi Kage right here, although it is changed slightly to, once again, to avoid copyright. But one thing I did notice about this figure is that his tattoos do go on the wrist tape. We did see that with some CM Punk figures with the Mattel, so it's a common issue with that just because of how low his tattoos go. But yeah, that is something to take note of. I do like the fact that they sculpted on his wrist tape. Very, very good sculpt work right there. And then we do have his X for his straight edge. We have his drug-free tattoos right here on his knuckle, which looks really nice. We have his straight edge tattoo right here on his stomach. And one thing I want to say is that this is a good representation of his body frame, but they've kind of missed the mark on the details. He's not as shredded as this figure does. Yeah, he is in shape, but he's not shredded. Like, this figure gave him a six-pack. CM Punk doesn't have a six-pack. He kind of just has like a flat stomach with seemingly muscles behind it. But yeah, like I said, it's not a bad body frame for CM Punk. It actually does work. CM Punk is thinner than he was in WWE, so this actually does work. And one thing that I didn't notice is that because he was wearing the hoodie, he does have some discoloration right here on the figure, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's really obvious to tell because the middle torso is a softer plastic, so that does absorb color faster than the harder plastic. So yeah, very wrong decision there by Jazzwares. They should have had the jacket off of him. Here you can see that he does have his CM Punk's Chicago stripes right here. We have the stars right in the middle, the black band right here, then going all the way across. Really do like the aesthetic of this figure. Now, they are missing his thigh tattoos, which is a little bit sad, but you can always just move his knee pads up and that would cover them up entirely. And I do like the fact that the knee pads do cover up most of his knee. Now, are they supposed to be that high? No, they're actually supposed to be like about there, but Jazzware gave him absurdly long legs. It's not quite apparent on his Unrivaled figure, the one with the long boys, but this one, it's quite obvious that he has a lot of leg here, and I just moved the knee pads up just to make it a little bit shorter. It's an issue just with the legs that they went with on CM Punk. I do like the knee pads though. The knee pads do look really good. Now, where the knee pads look good, the kick pads are a little to be desired. Now, as you can see, there is virtually no design on the kick pad, and yes, CM Punk wore a black kick pad, but he wore the tri-wing kick pads where it should have the sides right here detailed, and it's not. It's just like a black sock, which is a little bit unfortunate, because on his foot you can actually see they did sculpt the kick pad on. So yeah, it's a little bit odd that we get the kick pad on the foot, but then it's just like a sock right here on his shin. So really missed opportunity by Jazzware, and I think that's a little bit where Mattel does a little bit better. Even if they wore just a black kick pad, we at least got detail right here, and CM Punk is lacking that detail, unfortunately. So overall, it's still a really nice figure. Don't get me wrong, there are some issues with it, but it does look a lot like CM Punk, and they did a really good job with what they had. Even though there are some improvements, it's still a pretty decent figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare CM Punk to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have the Unrivaled CM Punk posed next to a WWE Ultimate Edition Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. Here we have CM Punk posed next to an AEW Unrivaled Kenny Omega. And finally, here we do have the Unrivaled CM Punk posed next to a WWE Elite Collection CM Punk. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at CM Punk's articulation. Now, CM Punk does have a ball joint at the head, which doesn't provide any side-to-side movement and very little up and down. He does, however, have a hinge in the neck, which does let him look up and does let him look down quite a bit. He can turn his head left and right, no problem. We do have a hinge in the shoulder, which does let him move out. Goes all the way around, no problem. He does have a bicep swivel, which works fine. Double bend here at the elbow, going past 90 degrees, which is really good. He does have a swivel hinge here at the wrist. Then we do have a ball joint here at the torso, which unfortunately doesn't provide much side-to-side movement. It does pivot back and forward, rotates slightly, but yeah, it's a very stiff joint. Actually, I think it cracked it, so it's free moving now. It wasn't moving before, but yeah, it moves now. He has a second ball joint here at the waist, which does help him with forward crunching. And again, it has very limited pivoting, and it's just very tight side to side. You can actually hear that squeaking. Going forward and back, it does no problem, so I do like that. Legs do kick forward only to about right there, which is acceptable. Kicks back and not that far. Out to the side, full split. Then he does have a thigh cut, which is a little bit high. I would have liked that cut to be a little bit closer to his hip, but it does swivel nicely. He does have a double joint here at the knee, but the knee pad will get in the way of it, as you can see, which is a little bit unfortunate. Then he has rotation here at the middle of the kick pad. He has a hinge in the ankle going back and forward. And then finally we have forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, CM Punk here is done very well. I do like the articulation, and it works fine for the most part. Could have been better in some areas, but with that being said, guys, let's actually get CM Punk posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the AEW Walmart exclusive Unrivaled CM Punk pose for my final thoughts, and overall I really do like the way this figure came out. Don't get me wrong, there are some things I could have done differently, like packing CM Punk with the hood off just to avoid the discoloration on the plastic, which is a little bit of an issue moving forward. As far as the details on the figure go, I absolutely love the tattoo work that they did on him. I do like the knockoff Pepsi emblem and the somewhat Cobra emblem on his shoulders, which does help make it look more like CM Punk. I would prefer they do that over the empty spaces like we saw with the Mattel figures. And I really do like the material that his hoodie is made out of, although I kind of wish they had sewn the hood down, because CM Punk doesn't come out with the hood up. His hood is always down. That's one thing that they could have done, is just sewn the hood down just to give it that down appearance. I do have it kind of folded right now, so it's kind of holding its shape, but overall this CM Punk is done very nicely, although there are some issues with it in terms of articulation. Some of the joints are really tight. I'm not a fan of how they did the kick pads. I would have liked them to at least do the actual detailing on the tri-wing kick pad instead of just giving them like a black sock. I think that could have been done a little bit differently, but overall I am still happy with this figure. Now, if you are looking for this particular CM Punk, he is starting to hit Walmart at the time I'm making this video. Now, I was unable to find my CM Punk at my local Walmart, so I did have to refer to secondhand market, but I was able to win him in an auction for about $27, so I really didn't pay too much over market value for him. Although, if you do find this figure in stores, I really do recommend you pick it up, especially with everything going on with CM Punk. You're going to want to have this figure in your collection before he sells out and people start asking way more money for this figure than it's actually worth. I do see this figure worth like $25 that we see at retail, but I don't really see a $60 figure here. Now, another thing I did notice about this figure is that it is the exact same figure that we are getting with the Chase variant CM Punk, just that this one has a hood. Other than that, they're the exact same figure, so if you can't find the Chase variant, this is the next best thing, and I think this is a little bit more better value just because he does come with the hood. Now, if you are looking for this CM Punk, like I said, he is a Walmart exclusive, so you do have to go to Walmart to find this figure, and he is kind of hard to track down, so keep that in mind. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other AEW videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.